Hello, welcome to Steven Shinder Reviews in video form. I'm continuing my coverage of this current season of Doctor Who, second episode of the season, titled Lux. Not to be confused with Flux, that 13th series from the 13th Doctor a few years ago. But this episode. So, first off, general thoughts before I touch on the stuff that actually happens. I thought it was fine. I see people saying this is like the best thing ever or like the best Doctor Who in a while, but I personally don't feel that way. I think it's fine. Um, I also watched it I tried watching it at midnight this time because the season has been releasing at midnight Pacific US time. And these last couple of years, I've struggled doing the like midnight viewing. I think when Andor, Star Wars Andor season 1 premiered at midnight, that was when I realized, okay, I can't do this. I need to wait until morning. And thankfully, subsequent Star Wars shows would premiere at like 6 p.m. on Tuesdays for me. So that was a good change. But now I'm feeling the pain of the British viewers of Doctor Who had to endure this midnight thing last season. So this was a weird one to watch when you're sleepy and like almost at the edge of sleep. And but yeah, I had to like go back later and refresh myself on stuff that happened. And yeah, but I think from now on I'm probably just gonna wait till morning. But yeah, I came out of this one feeling like maybe it's a 7.5 for me, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, you know what, I am not feeling as impressed with it, so I think I'm a 7 out of 10 with it, which kind of ties into something in the episode, funny enough. Or maybe not funny enough. I don't know. This episode was kind of just fine, like, in my opinion. But yeah, getting into the plot, so here's your spoiler alert here. The Doctor and Belinda can't go to May 24th, 2025. And you would think that Belinda would ask, why can't we go the day before or day after? But no, she does not ask that. She does not ask what a normal person in this situation would ask, what we, the fans, are asking. But I do quite like that we get this perspective. We're seeing through her eyes in this moment how she really does not know the Doctor. And for all she knows, I don't know if this was the intention, but it was something that came to mind. For all she knows, maybe he has ill intentions and could be, the idea of, oh, we're unable to go back to that date. It could be a ruse on his part, and she just, she asks him, I just want to go home, and is desperate. And, for all she knows, the Doctor could be a dangerous person. But he does really try to get her home. He uses this vortex device, but takes them to the 50s. I think it was 1952 or something. They touch on public perception of race a little bit. Maybe not as much as you would think, but this episode also has a vibe similar. I picked up on this early on. The vibe felt very similar to The Giggle, the third 60th anniversary special. I think because of the film and, TV aspect. And you would also hear this cartoon character. It was a Mr. Ringading, was that his name? Voiced by Jim Cummings. He would say, "Don't make me laugh," and so that also made me think of The Giggle. And I kept thinking to myself, are these on purpose, or are they kind of repeating themselves? But lo and behold, he does do the laugh. He's like a ha 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 ha, and we learn that he's like the god of light or something, or a continuation of this theme of gods that we've been seeing in this new Russell T Davies era, which the whole thing of having gods as a threat has had mixed reception from what I remember seeing people's thoughts online, and during last season and in between seasons. But I guess in the end, I do like that there was this connection, because then it doesn't feel like it's kind of just a repeat in a way. But the cartoon character comes out of the screen. This was something we knew was coming, thanks to the marketing. I guess it's kind of new to Doctor Who, not new to TV and film in general, of course. Um, I don't know why I feel the need to say that. Maybe I just feel like I have to say this isn't like the best thing ever. Like, I wasn't as super impressed, but it was fine. I liked it enough, but it was fine. Um, what happens is there's a point where the Doctor and Belinda get trapped, and then they meet these Doctor Who fans. They come out of the TV and meet Doctor Who fans, and this was kind of a strange occurrence, but not necessarily new to Doctor Who in general. I remember years ago there was this 11th Doctor comic called The Girl Who Loved Doctor Who, where the 11th Doctor ends up in an alternate universe where Doctor Who is a TV show and he meets Matt Smith. That was a fun comic, that one. Um, but what was I gonna say? Oh, I do kind of wonder if Russell T is doing something that could explain why in that Seventh Doctor story you almost hear, they're the Seventh Doctor and Ace are in 1963, and there's a TV, and you almost hear the announcer saying, "Now, for the next program, Doctor," and then cuts off or something before saying Doctor Who. I kind of wonder if maybe Russell T is trying to explain that. I could be totally wrong. Like, there's this thing going on here in this episode of, are the Doctor and Belinda real, or are the Doctor Who fans watching them on TV real? And the Doctor Who fans believe that will cease to exist once Mr. Ringading is defeated. Like, they think that they themselves are not real. Um, I kind of feel like they tried to make this scene sad, and it kind of wasn't. And right before, there was this mention of Doctor Who fans being annoying. And I mean, I mean, especially the toxic ones are annoying, but these ones don't look like toxic fans. Kind of funny that they say Blink is their favorite Doctor Who episode. I feel like that's like the normie popular vote. But to be fair, it is the one story where I really feel like the Weeping Angels are more of a threat, because each subsequent story they just don't feel as menacing anymore. Um, and I did also wonder if maybe the Land of Fiction from the Mind Robber could be somehow connected to this, the fiction versus non-fiction thing. I mean, later on after the credits, we hear the Doctor Who fans talking about the episode, giving it a 7 out of 10, much like I'm giving it, and then they realize we're still here, and like they're still around. But yeah, this definitely piques my curiosity of like what are they going for here in this season. But I guess we'll have to see. The Doctor and Belinda, throughout this episode, they become cartoons, and at some point are like trapped in the film or celluloid or whatever, and try to stay still to make it uh, so that they're able to get out. The episode explains it better than I am right now, but they end up destroying these reels, like the film, and this light fuels Mr. Ringading, and he grows and gets more visual dimensionality. He becomes this 3D animated monstrosity, but then goes back to looking 2D as he grows taller and taller, and then eventually gets into space and becomes nothing. This felt like you could look at it as either a retread or recurring themes. It reminded me of how Joy recently in the Christmas special became a star, and Belinda uh, getting a star named after her. And it's like, is this something we're supposed to notice, or did they not realize that this was kind of similar? And I was kind of on the solution, honestly, but the episode still was really well shot and had some curious, peaking stuff going for it. Mrs. Flood does appear at the end as the Doctor and Belinda leave in the TARDIS, and she mentions that it's a limited run. This show, I guess, this season it ends May 24th, 2025, and now online, real life Doctor Who fans are wondering if maybe BBC or something spread rumors of the show's cancellation on purpose, because for a while people have been uncertain about whether Ncuti Gatwa was getting a third season, and now people are thinking maybe there will be a hiatus because of the spin-off next year or something. But I guess we'll have to see. This definitely piques my curiosity, even if I thought the episode in general was just fine. I mean, the fourth wall breaking, I guess, blew people's minds somehow, but it kind of feels old hat to me. I kind of feel like we're maybe oversaturated with it. I felt She Hulk, the way it handled the fourth wall breaking, especially in the finale 3 years ago, was pretty good. But since then, it's like I don't really know that there's been anything with that sort of thing or the meta-ness that has really done much for me. And I talked about Deadpool and Wolverine and how underwhelmed I was by that film last year. But yeah, I'm still in for the ride. Want to see where these threads go, and really want Belinda to ask why can't we go one day before or one day after. But maybe that won't happen. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess that's it for now. Steven Shinder reviews in video form, and I'll see you all soon.